What techniques work best in the summer for these pressured bass? And I'm gonna tell you right now, but before we get into this technique, let me tell you what my most confident bait is currently right now. And that's a 4.5 inch MM3 RoboWorm, no questions asked, probably one of the best baits to simply catch these big largemouth bass. This bait is so small in profile, it tricks the bass over and over and over again. The bait itself has the best action just because of its mold and its perfectly injected amount of salt. Now let's jump into the actual technique I use with this bait. I personally use, and it's no secret, you can check out all of my videos on my channel, and I'll link my favorite video with this drop shot technique right here. But in the last trip, I've caught 22s, 23s, and 24-inch bass. And to put in perspective, that's anywhere from 4.65 pounds all the way to 9 pounds. There's one specific day that I've caught 30 pounds on a drop shot. Well, what do you need to get started? You need, of course, line, a rod, a reel, a hook, and a weight to get started. Let's start off with the line. I like to use anywhere from 6 to 8 pound test, a fluorocarbon leader of about 8 to 10 feet, and then I tie that to an FG knot to about 15-pound braid. And don't worry, I linked all these items in the description, so if you ever get lost, they're all down below. After that, I tie a polymer knot to a Gamakatsu G-Finesse drop shot hook and make sure my knot below is below the hook eye, so the barb is sticking up. Then I make sure the tag end is about 6 to 12 inches, so that way I have room to tie on my drop shot weight. I mostly fish a 1/4 ounce to 3/8 ounce using a lead or tungsten cylinder weight. For the rod, I usually use a 7-foot medium light action with a small reel such as a Daiwa Revros LT 2500, and then you're all set. So, where do you want to fish this technique right now? During the summertime, I generally fish my drop shots anywhere from 10 to 35 feet, but my primary focus is on grass, on lowland reservoirs, or on rock piles and ledges in highland reservoirs. And I'll drop shot fish this particular technique near pylons and docks if it's a natural lake like Clear Lake or a featureless bottom creek channel. Now, how do I fish this? Since now I know where to fish the drop shot and where to key on these fish. I like to dead stick and soak this worm on the initial drop and do nothing, do zero. Because the action on this worm is just deadly by itself. It's very buoyant in the water, it has very action. So any feedback you give through the line, any shake that you go from your rod and reel, that is gonna transfer over to the line to your bait, and it's gonna pick up every single shake there is. Now, if the bass are simply too pressured, I'll cast past my target, whether it's a grass edge, a rock pile, riprap, I'll cast past my target and I'll drag it and I'll give it subtle shakes. And this technique could be deadly. This could end up catching your biggest bag of the year. Now, my other technique I love to use is a shaky head, and I'll fish anywhere from 5 to 10 feet of water. Usually use a similar setup, but with a higher power rod like a medium action rod. Almost identical setup to my drop shot, just beefing up my rod. Action. And I'll use a jig head anywhere from an 1/8 of an ounce to a 1/4 ounce. But I'll do the same exact thing. I'll cast it out, let it just dead stick on the initial fall, and then I'll just start working it either uphill or just dragging it towards the boat. But the main thing is to stay on bottom. And I hope I placed enough information for you guys to get started. If I left anything out, please feel free to comment below any tips for new anglers that are looking to get started during the summertime to catch more bass. Anyways, peace.